Hello and welcome to Nirmal Bang, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Hiral Dadia. We have with us Ria Singh, technical analyst, currencies joining in. Ria, welcome to the show. Ria, with regards to what's come out of the budget today, any major impact or points that we need to note which could impact the movement of currency from here on?
Well, the whole event, the budget event signifies where the domestic currency will head, because there are so many pointers that are involved, like the government expenditure and how they'll be meeting those expenditure and so on. But while listening to the budget today, uh, it could be said that the government doesn't want to interrupt the ongoing financial strategies that they have put forward, in order to they don't want to change that so as to avoid any disruptions in the ongoing economic recovery path that is already taking place. Also, if you look at the whole budget, the major perspective they have put in place is with respect to the infrastructure. So what they are doing in order to get the economic recovery boosted is they are doing a lot of infrastructure investment, which will be generating jobs. So instead of boosting, consumption and getting more expendable income in the hands of the people, and taking the growth from there, they have taken the other path of doing more infrastructure investment and so on. So even if you look at the capex, they have increased the capital expenditure quite extensively. But overall, there have been few points that were missing in the whole budget as to where they are seeing the current GDP. They are stating at 9.2%, but what will be the GDP growth that they are looking forward in the coming financial year. Also, the fiscal deficit, they had said that it will be at 6.9%. Sorry, for the current financial year, and then 6.4% in the coming financial year. So for 20 year ending 22, it will be at 6.9% of the fiscal deficit, which is not very helpful in aiding the already weakened currency that we have seen in the current fiscal year. It has headed from trading around 70 to 50, stabilizing around 70 to 50, and going towards 75 and above. So I think if you look at the whole budget altogether, there has not been many guidelines that have been provided. There are no targets that have been given, disinvestment target, or what are the targets they are or what are the track of targets they are seeing in the coming fiscal year with respect to the GST collections, because disinvestment and GST collections are two of the incomes that affect fiscal deficit also, and then have impact on the strength of the currency. So no perfect guideline has been given into the current budget. So apart from the crypto, the release of the crypto digital currency by the RBI. So all in all, not much eventful in the current budget. So I think apart from the emphasis on infrastructure investment and so on, not much of a guidelines given so as to get the USD INR back on the track of the appreciative phase.
Okay. And overall, with that, I mean, thank you, Ria, for that brief understanding as well on the macros. Simultaneously, when you talk about crypto and digital currency of rupee, how are you
Hmm.
looking at that on that front? And do you think that is something which is having an impact?
I think it is a very interesting development that has happened in the budget. If you look at the statement with respect to the crypto, or the virtual asset altogether, the digital asset, so they have implied a flat 30% taxation on it, and without any provision that if there are any losses, they could set it back against the profit on. So what this is indicating is that the government is working very diligently towards getting the digital rupee into the market, and is putting more emphasis on that rather than boosting the the interest with respect to the cryptocurrency. Now, that being said, there is still a bill that needs to be come forward and get accepted in the house and so on. So there is still bit of work pending on that part. So unless there is a bill, unless the bill gets accepted, and what they'll be including in that bill and so forth, what are the guidelines they are providing and how they'll be regulating this digital currency, and the whole mechanics around it, unless there is an official statement that will be released by the RBI, we cannot predict how much it will affect the already circulating currency that is there into the market. What kind of liquidity will that be put forward into the into the whole system? So I think it is an interesting scenario, but still a lot of points that still need to get into consideration, and the market has to understand to put a clear view on it. So it's still an interesting point and wait and watch game on that.
Right. And very lastly, in terms of taking into consideration the budget and the economic performance of India, what's your outlook on the rupee? What levels we should be watching out for in the medium term?
I think if you look at the current development where they are predicting the fiscal deficit to be 6.9%, I think it could miss the target because the GST collections have been quite good, and it will set off any lagging that has been there through the disinvestment numbers. If you look at the current financial year disinvestment numbers, it has only reached around 5%. So this may be also one of the major reasons why they have not given any disinvestment numbers, because it is the third time in the row that they have missed getting hitting the target. Apart from that, the GDP, I think in the coming fiscal year could rely anywhere between 7.8 to 8.2%. And taking all that in consideration, the capex, the capital expenditure that they have set forth, and how how they'll be meeting those capital expenditure will be something to look out for. So overall, I think even the RBI will play its part in getting the rupee stabilized around 76.10 to 74.54 range. So anywhere within those range, in the initial two quarters, we will definitely see it's moving towards 75.46 and 75.68 in the future contracts. So all in all, if you talk about the spot momentum, I think in the spot you will see rupee trading between the range of 75 to 74 range. So this is a broader range that uh, we are looking forward in the coming fiscal year.
Right. And what are the strategies that you would recommend?
The strategies to go forward will be to buy on dips into the USD INR around 74.80 for a target of 70, 75, 75, 15 with a support at 74.54. You can go long into the JPY INR above the level of 65.42 for a target of 65.59 with a stop loss at 65.30. You can also go long into the Euro INR above the level of 84.65 for a target of 84.80, 84.98 with a stop loss at 84.50. Go long into the GBP INR. It has given a tremendous gain in today's session. So look for a profit taking momentum, and you can buy it around 101.14 with the stop loss at 101 and target of 101.50. So these are the strategies. Also in the coming, there is a RBI meeting that will be coming up. So any guidelines into that as to how much liquidity, removal of liquidity that they'll be doing through the ongoing VRR and GSAP OMO operations, and whether they'll be going forward with the rate hike, which is unlikely. I think they'll be opting for another kind of OMOs operations in order to get the rupee stabilized rather than changing the repo rate. So that is one event that will again, put forward some guidelines on the Indian rupee.
Right. So that's the overall view that's coming in with regards to where the Indian rupee is concerned, especially from the impact basis from the comments that have come in from Budget 2022 by Honorable Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman. Thank you, Ria, for joining us on the show. Thank you, participants, as well, and hope this conversation was useful. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ian.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel for in depth interviews of India Inc. and press the bell icon so that you do not miss our updates.